Hey YouTube, some of you that watch me notice something is missing. Yep, got it mostly done. And out of the garage. Under its own power. It is not 100% done yet, but it is done enough so where I could get it out, because I have a caravan coming in that I will be parting out. Might do some videos on that too. But yeah, here's a little bit of what I had to do. The first thing was EGR bolts were too long, the factory ones, so I had to go out to get some about ½ inch shorter bolts so it could bolt in and actually have the EGR on. It was causing a vacuum leak and a lot of issues for me. But the new EGR bolt seems to be doing good. Also, here's the brass T. Here's the factory vacuum harness, and here's the evap, or no, not evap, it's PCV, crankcase ventilation. Goes right there, and then into the only throttle plenum port. Then the brake booster, this was 5/8, had to reduce it down to 3/8. Shoved it in the hose. That seems to be fine, no leaks. Put some RTV in there and going to clamp it later. Then got an extended 3/8 hose for the evap, so it goes into there. And then some of you might notice I have my factory throttle body on there, and I don't have this larger aftermarket one. Reason being, cruise control stud's too large. And when you would go open throttle, it would hang up to about here, causing the car to, well, I never actually started it. I checked it before I started it, but it would have caused the car just to hang. But with that, so I just put the stock one on for now. Also, bolts were the screws were rounded out on the inside, so I can't get them off anyway. So I have to get a throttle position sensor, and I just don't feel like doing that right now. But I will be putting this one on eventually. Need to grind down the stud. I also need to get 5/8 to 3/4 reducer for the heater hose. I really wish I would have noticed I would have had to do this when I had the intake off. Then I would not have gotten a 5/8 hose. I would have gotten the reducer and a 3/4 inch hose and ran that underneath the intake. But oh well, what can I do? What's done is done. Don't feel like taking the car apart again, so. But yeah, I will be filling it up with coolant and running it before I put the underdrive pulleys on, just because I want to make sure it will hold coolant pressure and it didn't damage anything when it ran out of coolant. Because I did drive it for a little bit until I noticed the steam coming out, because you know that just happens, and the engine was hot. And aluminum heads getting hot normally means they will warp. But with me running the car a little bit, it did not seem to have any issues, so hopefully it will be fine. But that is a concern that I might have. But yeah, for now, that's what I have. I will make an update vid once I get it up and going. I will also be making a video of the caravan that I'm getting. I'm gonna take the transmission and engine out of it and then scrap it, so that way I can get this thing driving again. It's been sitting here for about 2 years. I would really like to drive it because it was a really fun car. And it's rust free, which is unheard of in Michigan. That car is also rust free, but that car is from Georgia.